My friend, pay close attention to what I'm about to tell you. A silent move just happened behind the scenes with the Eagles, and almost nobody saw it. While everyone is focused on the game against the Lions, the front office made a strategic move that could completely change the defensive rumors in the coming weeks. It's discreet, it's unexpected, and I managed to find out the real reason for this decision before it appeared on the major news outlets. So leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and come with me, because what I'm about to reveal to you, my friend, will surprise you. When everything indicated that the Philadelphia Eagles had finally defined their defense for Week 11, the franchise made a subtle but significant move, one that may reveal exactly how the coaching staff is facing the challenges to come. Earlier this week, the Eagles re-signed defensive end Titus Leo for training camp, bringing back a player who had a brief stint with the team at the beginning of the season. To make room, the Philadelphia Eagles released defensive end Ambry Thomas, a player with 42 NFL games of experience, but who hasn't played since 2023. The transaction was announced quietly, but its implications go beyond what the headlines suggest. Leo, a former Wagner standout with 2 Defensive Player of the Year awards and a selection to the FCS First Team All-American in 2021, entered the NFL as a 6th-round pick in the 2023 draft for the Indianapolis Colts. Standing at 6 feet 3 inches and known for his explosive burst of speed, he spent last season with the New England Patriots, participating in 4 games and recording 4 tackles, 1 tackle for loss of yards, and 1 pass deflection. He subsequently signed with the Tennessee Titans in April before being released in early August, returning to the Philadelphia Eagles near the end of training camp. So why bring him back now? Because the Eagles' defensive line, despite being one of the most respected in the league, has been questioned for weeks regarding its ability to consistently pressure opposing quarterbacks. And even with the return of stars like Jalen Phillips, Brandon Graham, and Nolan Smith to bolster the roster, the reality is simple. You can never have too many pass rushers in November, especially with the Detroit Lions, San Francisco 49ers, and Dallas Cowboys on the schedule. Thomas, on the other hand, had experience but not momentum. Leo offers the opposite, youth. His explosiveness is a potential for development that the Eagles clearly believe he's worth keeping on the team. The coaches know he's not expected to contribute immediately, but they also understand how quickly a player from practice time can become a necessity on game day during the brutal final stretch of the regular season. And that leads us directly to the next storyline. While the defense gains depth and reinforcements, the discussion surrounding the offense has become more heated, dramatic, and far more complex. If the change on defense was surprising, what's happening on offense, especially involving Jalen Hurts, is generating even more excitement. The Philadelphia Eagles boast a 7-2 record, with only 3 NFL teams having more wins: the Patriots, Colts, and Broncos. Philadelphia has played fewer games than all of them and currently leads the NFC, defending its Super Bowl title. In theory, this time should be a source of praise. However, somehow the national narrative surrounding the Eagles has become strangely negative. Reporter Diana Rossini stated that people inside the Time are frustrated with Jalen Hurts, which generated a wave of speculation. These comments came just days after wide receiver A.J. Brown spoke out about the pace and production of the offense. However, the story took on a life of its own. Are the players unhappy with Hurts? Is the offense broken? Is the locker room losing patience? But looking at what really happens behind the scenes, the truth is much more balanced and much less dramatic. Sources explain that some offensive players feel Hurts has been cautious against zone defenses this season, opting for short passes or runs instead of throwing confidently into tight spaces. This, combined with the fact that the Philadelphia Eagles rank 30th in pass attempts, has left receivers anxious and sometimes frustrated. But that's where context matters. Brown himself defended Hurts, emphasizing that many plays have multiple interpretations, and what looks free on a screenshot isn't always what Hurts is reading on the field. Brown made it clear: processing, pressure, and timing are far more complex than outside observers imagine. However, the numbers tell a very different story from the rumors. Hurts has 16 touchdowns and only 1 interception, increasing his average of aerial deliveries compared to last season and playing some of his best football in the last month. Before the close victory over Green Bay, he averaged 267 yards, 10 touchdowns, 1 interception, and 1 rushing touchdown in 4 games. Elite production by any standard. More importantly, this is a time that prioritizes the running game by nature. They led the league in rushing attempts last year, finishing last in pass attempts, and still won the Super Bowl. Nothing in their current philosophy is new. What is new is the external pressure. Ultimately, the Eagles are winning games, controlling the NFC, and performing well even with injuries in key areas. The media storm has turned turned a small internal frustration into a bigger story than reality. But it doesn't stop there, my friend. The Eagles don't know the Lions as well as they do their NFC East quirks, but they know enough. Detroit is a physical, explosive, and specific team that deserves to be among the conference's elite. Philadelphia comes into the matchup with a 7-2 record. Detroit is right behind with 6-3. And while it's not a rematch of the playoffs, it feels like playing the NFC Championship game that should have happened last season before the Lions crumbled against the Commanders. Detroit's defensive star, Aiden Hutchinson, even admitted that the team had been planning this matchup for a long time, calling it a must-win. This intensity contrasts sharply with Eagles linebacker Zach Bond, who didn't even know who they were playing against until the flight home from Green Bay. A funny yet revealing moment that shows how Philadelphia approaches the season with a strategic approach focused on each game individually. 5 major narrative threads set the stage. 1. A Jay Brown's boiling point. The star receiver is frustrated. The question now is whether the Eagles will feed him frequently from the start, or if the tension will become a distraction. With 8 games still to go, this matchup will reveal everything. 2. The war of the running game. Saquon Barkley could break free at any moment, but he only has 1 game with over 100 rushing yards this season. Meanwhile, Detroit relies on the dangerous duo of Gibbs and Montgomery. One difference: Nakobe Dean's return has transformed the Philadelphia Eagles' run defense, reducing their average yards allowed from 4.66 to 3.68. 3 old friends, new roles. Dallas Goedert and Avonte Maddox arrived in Philadelphia together, became instant friends, and even roommates. Now, Maddox is getting more opportunities due to injuries in Detroit's secondary, meaning he'll face Goedert directly, who led the Eagles with 7 touchdowns. 4. The offensive challenge. 10 points won't be enough this week. Detroit has the second-best offense in the NFL, averaging 31 points per game. Offensive coordinator Kevin Patullo had 1 less day to prepare after Monday night's game, increasing the pressure on an already intense matchup 5. The trenches will decide everything. Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter, and Moro Ojomo will face Detroit's interior defensive line, which features a backup guard, Awosika, and a rookie, Ratledge, replacing veteran Frank Ragnow, who retired from the Pro Bowl. Ratledge, a former teammate of Carter and Davis at Georgia, may understand their tendencies, but that doesn't mean he can stop them. Final score prediction: Eagles 31, Lions 29. An exciting game decided by a brilliant offensive performance, which finally opened up and took control when it mattered most. With all this happening, the quiet arrival of Titus Leo to reinforce the defense, the rumors about Jalen Hurts that seem to be getting out of control, and the electrifying duel against the Lions for the NFC lead. Which of these 3 points do you think will have the biggest impact on the Eagles' immediate future? Leave your opinion here. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. I'll be back later to update you with the latest Eagles news.